live on Twitch. Dude, going live on 3 different apps is so weird. Can you help me move this thing over here? I think it's good there. I was trying to get it. Can you just back it up? Yeah, back it up around there. Thanks, man.
No problem. This thing's all wild.
In real life. We should make it DC comic reviews because we don't have 2, 3. Okay. That should be everything. It has to be this way.
Okay, so let me go like this.
Okay. Hi, Twitch. Hi, Twitch. How are you?
Oh my god.
It almost works. It almost works. Okay. All right. I'm going to take my mask off so that the deaf community can read my lips because I can't sign fast enough. Okay. It was a weird. What's up, Cam? It was a weird week. We don't have Marvel books yet. Marvel books are delayed, possibly because of the snowstorm in the south. We're not entirely sure. Also got news that DC, Diamond Comics is closing their Tennessee distributor. So they are moving most of their distribution to Olive Branch. And what's that other location?
Olive Branch?
And? There's one more. There's 3. Tennessee's closing.
Yeah, the Olive Branch, Missouri is the last one.
Oh, is that the last one?
Yeah, that's the last one.
Isn't Olive Branch down south? I thought Olive Branch was near LA and there was like a Missouri.
No, that's Missouri.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway, so they're closing one of their distributions. It's the one that we would always have to like have books go through, so it would kind of delay like our deliveries. So I'm a little happy to see it go. I mean, I don't want to see like anyone in the industry suffer. I hate that. But something that speeds up our delivery process pretty much helps us. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully Diamond's not flailing and we're not going to see the end of them anytime soon. Or if we do, maybe Marvel goes to Lunar. I don't know. I'm just saying. But what else do we have going on? WandaVision, if you saw it last week, I watched no less than 3 casual fans' faces melt on Facebook on my wall. Like they lost their crap and I was like, oh, we're not even done. Like, not even done. So that's been fun. What else? Anything else, Yogi? Can you think of any other news?
That crossover with the Star Wars stuff.
Oh, yeah, we're having a new Star Wars comic getting launched that centers around Boba Fett that's supposed to cross over with all the other Star Wars brands. It's a bounty hunter war, I guess. I'm trying to fix Twitch over here. Poor Twitch over here is the awkward camera. Yeah. So that should be fun. What else?
Demon Days is coming up soon.
Demon Days, centered around Psylocke and Peach Momoko. Done by Peach Momoko. That's coming soon. What else? Anything else? Can you think of anything else? I'm fresh out of pop culture news. The worst part is I had a bunch before this.
Where's Cam? We need Cam for this.
Cam's
Cam,
here.
where are you, man?
Cam's here. Can you back up? Back up. 6 feet. Let's see what else. I guess I'm out of pop culture news. I need to start writing these down so that I have like a bit better. Greetings from Fairfax County, Virginia. Hey, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, we did get that controversy with the Zack Snyder release with Joker.
Oh yeah, Zack Snyder released an image of Joker that's like black and white that has
Thorns.
Yeah, it's basically him as Jesus. And yeah, okay, some people are offensive, but other people are like, he's the bad guy, right? Like, I think the idea behind it is Snyder wanted to stir a little controversy, do something that would be offensive to most people. I guess some Christians were offended, and most comic fans were offended by the use of Jared Leto. So, that's cool. So you got some people talking. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you can't joke about stuff like that these days. I don't know. I figure you could joke about everything. I mean,
Yeah. Well, you're a comedian too, man. So.
yeah. So well, whatever. So that happened. Let's get to it. From the pages of Dark Knight's Death Metal, issue number 1, written by Dan Jurgens, Robert Venditti, Andy Schmidt, art by Brian Hitch, Bernard Chang, Colleen Doran, and Marco Santucci, and more. This is Generations Forged. Now, if you paid attention to the Dark Knight's Death Metal event, there was a team that was put together that was like different timelines. So it was like Batman at the beginning in the 1930s, and it was like Sinestro during like maybe the 80s or something. So it jumped around and just sort of picked and choose. Like Starfire was on the team. That's this team, and this team is tasked with trying to fix. There is a god messing with time, so they've got to fix it. Of course, Booster Gold's involved, so it's okay. It's okay. I wish I could say it was better. The art was, I was really blown away by the art. The art was great. Nothing to complain about. If you're an art buff, you'll absolutely love it. It's a lot of artists doing some good stuff. The storyline, well, I got to tell you, I don't have a lot of interest invested in this team. And I will say that Steel and Superboy hanging out and making vehicles out of like jungle parts is kind of funny. But the rest of this book was okay. It was okay. Nothing to write home about. I'm going to say if you need a number 1 in your life, that one shot's only okay. What about Carnage, Black, White, and Blood? We don't have our Marvel shipment yet. Our Marvel shipment has not shown up and won't be here until tomorrow. So we're going to do another video tomorrow. I promise you we will do another video tomorrow of Marvel. But today is DC only. I'm sorry. Did I forget to say that? I forgot to say that, didn't I? I did say that our shipment was delayed, but I don't think I said much more beyond that. Next is Russell Pugh Ferraro Jr., and we're talking about Superman versus Imperious Lex. Now, there's a couple things to take away. This is Old Man Superman versus Old Man Lex, and Lex went and got himself a planet where he is revered, and he's trying to join the United Federation of Not the United. I'm mixing up with Star Wars. The United Planets, Star Trek. Yeah, I'm mixing up with Star Trek. The United Planets group, and he got denied in the first issue, and Clark went, well, we really can't deny Lex. Like, if he's trying to do something good, we gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. So this is, of course, going to blow up in everyone's face and be kind of fun. It was written by Russell, who I happen to like. He's the same guy who gave us that amazing Snagglepuss story and the Flintstones as a middle-aged man take. So I really love that writer. The art is great. Honestly, this is the perfect kind of art if you're going to tell an old man Lex and an old man Clark and an old lady Lois story. It felt perfect. And it's not over. I think there's one more issue left, but I wasn't bored. I had a good time. I chuckled a couple times. I will say that if you need like some lighthearted stuff, this is the lighthearted stuff right here, and we will have it on our shelves. Next is going to be my DC pick of the week. This was amazing all around, and I'm blown away. This is Johnson, Godlewski, and Iltab, and we're talking about Superman, House of L. Now, if you can't tell from the cover, that is Old Man Superman right there sitting center stage, but we have a lot of other players. It turns out that this is quite a ways into the future so far that people don't even think Kal-El existed. Like, he's just a legend. Whoa, I can hear myself. Meanwhile, the House of L has grown to include Tamaranians, Starfire's race, some members of Warworld, multiple, I think, species of Warworld, and a few other as well. It's wild to see. So a lot of people are claiming House of L, and a lot of people are fighting with superpowers. Some of them are Earth descendants, so I'm assuming Earth Kryptonians. Meanwhile, Superman's got a secret relative. I'm not going to spoil that part for you. One thing I will spoil is no joke, and I'm going to say this flat out because I think it's the coolest thing ever, and I think you should rush out and buy this for this character's first appearance alone. There's multiple first appearances of which are cool. I think this new Con-El, I like him. But there is a new character that is a Blue Lantern House of L. Now, if you know anything about the DC universe, you'll know that Blue Lanterns are primarily hope powered. So if you give someone a Blue Lantern ring that is hope powered, that represents the House of El, which is a literal symbol of hope. Not only does it make sense, but it's kind of beautiful. I was blown away. I immediately fell in love with this character, want to see more of them. So I would say do not skip it. There is like, I don't know, 10 first appearances in this comic. It was awesome. I was it was just an amazing action story. There's a lot of politics in play. It was fun. Really, really fun. So don't pick it. My DC pick of the week, absolutely Superman House of El. Amazing story. Next is another amazing story, almost equally as amazing. This is Thomas, Samper, and Lucas, and this is Future State Aquaman. But really, really, I mean, we all know that that's Aqualad all grown up, and this Aqua, I guess Aquaman. We'll call her Aquaman, but it's the daughter of Arthur and Mira. And I have like this story is just absurdly cool all around. For a lot of reasons. One, it's kind of her story, her rise through the ranks. Well, not really through the ranks. She's just being trained, but her rise to power, like grappling her powers, grappling her ability, finding inner strength, all of that, as well as like talking to fish and you know how the fish react when you accidentally kill one of them, or like it was kind of touching in a way. And she's trying to rescue her old mentor, and it's just a fun story. So these are the kind of comic stories that you just pick up, you read through, and you feel complete when you get to the end. Honestly, I felt like I read a trade paperback. So if my pick of the week wasn't Superman House of El, it would probably be this, because this was an amazing read. I was not bored whatsoever, had a great time, and wanted to know more. Next is, well, this is Thompson, Adams, Fernandez, Pasarin, Albert, Paz, Sinclair, Cox. My God, that is a bunch of people working on it. And it is Suicide Squad and the Justice Society. Yeah, so this is an Earth 3 sort of crossover with Suicide Squad, kind of mixed here and there. There's a lot of moving parts in this, and I wasn't like, I had to speed read the first one, I had to speed read this one, and I got to tell you that this storyline's, it's a bit weird. There are a couple betrayals and a couple like twists. It's not to say I was bored. Honestly, I'm kind of a big Connor Kent fan, which people don't say all that often. So I love Connor Kent, and you know he's sort of center stage in this. So yeah, that was good. The second story. So the second story in this, well, it centers around Shazam and a few others, kind of near the end of the world and grappling with some darkness. Meanwhile, a character shows up, a character wearing gold and blue that says, "I'm gonna save the timeline," and it's a woman that looks like Booster Gold, kind of. It turns out this character's name is Gold Beetle, a descendant of Blue Beetle and Booster Gold down the line. I didn't like that. Plus, the character immediately says "totes the goats." Nah, hard no. That storyline was. I mean, as far as storylines go, I was kind of intrigued. I stopped and I read it, and I was kind of in it. Cam wants House of El. So I think he wants a sub. I didn't hate the storyline. I just hate that character. That character. Keep in mind, I'm a huge Blue Beetle fan, so that character, like, oh, that's my pop culture news. They announced some of the casting for Blue Beetle, or some of the directing. I think they announced the director for Blue. Did you hear me? So yeah, we're getting the Jaime Reyes story. I'm excited because even the Jaime Reyes story means I get to see who Ted Kord is, because Ted Kord is kind of his mentor. So I will get to see both Blue Beetles, both of them, and you know I love them both. So I'm pretty hyped. Anyways, so okay, let's get back to this Suicide Squad. If you want a good Suicide Squad story, this one's okay. If you want to see a complete bastardization of your heroes, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, it's here. I'm still not happy about that. Next is Bendis, Rosmo, Placencia, and we're talking about Legion of Superheroes. Now, yeah, I'm already pretty hard on the Legion of Superheroes regular storyline. So Future State, I'm gonna say I actually really like this, and the reason I liked it is kind of weird. It's not going to be like normal reasons. One, the art is really good. Like I don't know what this artist is doing, but it's fun. So it's kind of a different style of art. I've seen it before. I think it's Rosmo. So I've seen it before. But so the artist is getting kind of weird with it, and I like it. And yeah, okay, we've taken some liberties. Jonathan Kent's outfit in this is super strange. But the main character is part of a hive mind, and I kind of have an obsession of hive minds in fiction. So I was kind of intrigued by that and how they handled it. And it was pretty fun and interesting to see. So I'm going to say for that reason alone, if you like hive minds, you should probably not skip it. If you like good art, don't skip it. Again, if you want to read a little bit more Legion of Superheroes without a million characters jockeying for your attention all at once, making everything really confusing, this is it. Frankly, I got to tell you, the House of L book felt like how the Legion of Superheroes book should have been. That's what it felt like. Yeah. Because, like, I don't hate those characters in the Legion of Superheroes book that's normally on the shelves. There's just too damn many of them. You know what I mean? And they haven't introduced them separately, so they're just coming at 1,000,000 miles a minute. And this one, they did the same thing where there were so many of them, but they gave each of them time to sort of establish what they were, at least a little bit, so that somebody would comment like, "Oh yeah, you know my background. I'm not used to this sort of thing." And they go a little bit from there.
That's a super Legion thing. Like there was too much going on too fast, and you're just like, well, if this is just it, then what's the cool thing about this?
Yeah, and I remember Rick Bretschneider and Derek McCall liked it, and I was like, man, maybe I'm a weirdo because I don't like it. But to me, it felt like somebody took a deck of cards where you're like, I want to know, I want to know about every one of these characters that's on each one of these cards, and then just threw it in the air, and you were just like, what the fuck is going? What the heck is going on? I'm trying not to curse. I'm sorry.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
This was perfect, dude.
Yeah. House of L was perfect. Next is Katana Collins, Sean Murphy, Mateo Scalera, and Dave Stewart. Wow. There is a lot to unpack about this Harley Quinn run. So it's Harley Quinn. She is flashbacking to other stuff. Meanwhile, she's dealing with a character that paints herself black and white, and her name is Ethel, but I can't remember her name. It's like the Scream something or other. I can't remember what that character is. But if you can't tell from the cover, yes, Red Hood is in play. There is a Jason Todd Red Hood in play. And the way that played out, I was a little disappointed. But I'm going to tell you, maybe that part of it disappointed me, but the end of this was so shocking and oddly sad. And if you've been on this run for Harley, Sean Murphy's kind of pulled gold once again out of nothing and made this into just a beautiful story that we never knew we wanted. And the ending of this was very, very bittersweet and beautiful. You're just going to have to read it to find out. But I got to tell you, I've fallen in love with the White Knight Harley Quinn as a character. And keep in mind, when she was first introduced, turns out she wasn't even or the Harley Quinn that was in that story wasn't the original Harley Quinn.
It wasn't.
They pulled some wild stuff out there. Yeah, it was
reading that, I was like, oh my god, that kind of doesn't make a little sense because they're two different kind of Harley Quinns at the same time, but it's still the same.
Yeah. So the end of this is very, very, very touching and will pull at your heartstrings. It's very sad. So again, the art though is amazing. Everything that comes out of anything tied to Curse of the White Knight has just been brilliant art. So don't skip it whatsoever. Again, that's another book that it's almost my pick of the week, but just didn't quite get there.
Cripps, is it? Ethel Cripps?
Yeah, it's Ethel Cripps.
Wow. So that's a character from the 1930s, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Her name's
no. There we go. First appearance, 1989.
Yeah, her name's Ethel, and she's black and white, and I can't remember why. So she's an older character reintroduced. Cool.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Ethel D goes under Ethel Cripps as well.
Oh, okay. Next we have, well, it's Dark Detective Future State. Now, there's a lot to unpack. Batman has lost his fortune. He's rumored to be dead, and he's trying to get the magistrate. But how do you attack the magistrate? Is essentially like George Orwell's number one villain. He's the state, and he's controlling everything, and he's spying on everyone and everything with like nanobots. Wow. So yeah, so you can't even see that he's spying on you. I've got the hiccups. So he's kind of a messed up character, and Bruce Wayne, well, he's been up against some hard to beat odds, but this one's proving pretty difficult, especially when you're pretty much bankrupt and dead, technically rumored to be dead. So he's making the best of a bad hand, and that story's pretty good. I have little to complain about that. It's not my favorite Batman story, I will say that. The Red Hood story after, wow, Red Hood running around with Deathstroke's daughter, and that's a weird couple if ever there was one, but I guess it makes sense. They're both chaos incarnate. Meanwhile, Red Hood is, well, he's pissed off all of the Bat family because he's turned on them and he's hunting vigilantes down and throwing them in prison. Man, there's probably more to play because Jason Todd would never kowtow to any form of leadership one way or another, good or bad. He rebels against everything. Even Batman. Yeah, even Batman. So him towing the line and playing nice with the magistrate, I kind of think we all see that this is a play. So I'm going to wait and see. It seems like it's working out to be a play. You're going to have to read it to find out. But come on. We all know Red Hood. Like, Red Hood's not going to play nice with anyone. Next is Batman Black and White. And wow, okay. There's a lot here. We have the next Batman, who is Jace Fox, right? Jace Fox, actually formerly known as Tim Fox. And I love him as a character. Did you know he's got a Robin in the form of his sister?
What?
Yeah!
No, I didn't.
So we got that in the last Batman Black.
Yeah, I lost it.
Is he going to reconnect?
Yeah,
okay, cool. All right, we're good. Anyway, so there was that story from last time, and that was interesting to see. Honestly, that's the strongest of the stories in this. I will say that. Then you get a sort of traditional Batman story. You get, an Arkham Knight-ish story, and there's a couple twists here and there. I can't really talk about all these without spoiling them. There is one that I'm pretty sure is Kings of Fear. It's that Batman tied to Kings of Fear, and I really like that art, but I didn't really like that story. Yeah. The Bill Finger look. So you get a lot of stories. It's a lot of really beautiful art that's done in the, I can't really say old style. I'm going to say 90s style of just like heavy on the ink type stuff. So it's good. The storylines are fun. It's a really good pick, and I don't think you can go wrong with it. We had a couple people that were like discovering it after the fact. They came in and they were like, why are not more people buying this? And I was like, I don't know. It's amazing. So it's on our shelf. The last DC story we're going to cover this week is Yang, Oliver, Segovia, McDaniel, and Segovia. Sokovia? McDaniel and Prianto, and that is Batman Superman. Now, I have a really huge love for everything Batman Superman. I really, 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 really do. The last one showed that, Superman got caught, and he got caught by characters that were kind of animalistic, and Batman had to get to the bottom of it. Honestly, I got to tell you that this felt like Batman Superman that is currently on our shelves, where it's them, but it's not so serious. Like, just Superman being in the story with Batman kind of takes Batman's edge off. Come on, we all know that Lois and Clark have a third wheel in their relationship in the form of Bruce Wayne. So it's just they have such good charisma. It works together. They stay just lighthearted enough. The Batman Superman that's on the shelf right now is fun, and the Future State one is equally fun. We're gonna figure out who's at the center of this. Who do you think is of the center at the center of this? If you see a pig on the cover, and there are animal people in play.
This one.
I'll tell you off camera. But if you know the characters, you know who might be experimenting on people, who might be at play here. It could be pretty overt with a pig on the cover. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I remember now. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it's fun. I will say that, like, let's be honest, like the Batman monologue or the internal monologue is very spot on. It just feels right. Batman assessing the situation and saying like, well, they haven't figured this out, so they don't know this. So I'm like, it's Batman. That's how he works, and it was really good. Who's writing this? Yang. Who's writing the one on the shelf right now? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
You don't have to check. It's okay. It feels very similar, so at least the guy really knows his source material. It's working out great. The art is astoundingly good. Honestly, this might be my favorite of the Future State art, save for the House of. Is the House of L stuff Future State? It is, right?
Yeah.
God, I hope that one continues.
That would be really dope, man.
God.
Like if you guys can see this Blue Lantern when they appear, it's like, oh my god.
So this one's great. That House of L one, oh my god, dude! If ever there was a comic from Future State that they need to, like, I had high hopes for all of them. The Justice League Future State, it's pretty darn good. Like that's another one that I would want to continue because I really like that team. The Dark Detective, it's okay. The next Batman, it's actually pretty good, but it's pretty good for another reason. I like the Duke Thomas story. It's tied to, was it Duke Thomas? No, it's not.
Well, there's some like subtleties.
The Duke Thomas story is tied to another comic, but I like that one. But it's the Mr. Miracle story that I like. I like Jace Fox as a character. He makes a lot of mistakes, and which kind of does make me like him a bit more. He makes a lot of mistakes, so I'm the run. I'm still kind of, it still feels like it's not quite perfect. I really like the Yara Flor Wonder Woman, but apparently it wasn't well received on the internet, so whatever. Superman Worlds at War. I like that story, but the reason I like it is not because Superman's off on Warworld. I could give a crap about that. The gal who is talking about like the legend that is Superman and is trying to figure out where he went, that is mesmerizing. So that story, I like that for that character alone. But like most of them, Future State, you pick or choose. Some hit, some miss. None I'd really want to continue too far, save for maybe the Justice League and maybe the next Batman. But that House of L, my God, that House of L is mind blowing. And I'm telling you right now, I don't buy comics off our shelf too often. I tend to leave them for the customers. I'll occasionally like pick and choose. I'm definitely getting that one. So of all the books this week, don't skip that one. It was amazing. And that's still watching them from the. Oh, okay. And that's going to be our DC comic show for the week. Come back tomorrow. I promise you, tomorrow we will have Marvel reviews, and it will be a lot longer because there's a lot more Marvel and indies out this week. But that's our show for DC this week. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. I gotta end everything. Twitch is like shaking while I end it. Earthquake.
I was streaming on 2 devices for this show.
Oh, cool.